Let us continue our discussion on earth electrodes. In this video, we are going to study different types of earth electrodes as used in the HVDC scheme. Prior to this discussion, we have gone through the objectives of designing earth electrode and also choice of electrode site. So kindly focus your attention here at the bottom. Types of electrodes. The electrodes are classified based on the construction, or you may consider the geometry of electrodes. First type of electrode is a simple array of straight electrode. Okay, straight electrode. Second is a ring type of electrode. Third, branch star electrode, and lastly, radial star electrode. So these are the different types of electrodes. Let us now move ahead and study the constructional details of these electrodes. While studying the constructional details, we should understand here that the electrode types, they differ mainly by the geometry of the construction. Okay, it is a straight, ring, branch star, radial star. But the other technical details related to the electrical connection and the material which is used for these electrodes, this is all the very same, right? So we are going to go through the study of straight electrode in detail, and that will give us the idea about the construction details of all the types, right? Let us check. So this is a straight electrode. In this particular diagram, there are two diagrams visible on the slide. First one is on the left hand side, right? This represents the elevation, okay, and the second diagram on the right hand side, this represents the end view. Okay, so different views of the same electrode, straight electrode, has been represented on the same slide. So let us focus our attention on the left hand side of the diagram. Let us go through the details. Before we study the construction, we must recollect that the electrode side is selected such that the soil in the area under the ground, it must have good conductivity, right? And it should be accessible. There should be ample space, right? Adequate land is required, and there must be a natural supply of moisture. Okay, then only it will be able to maintain low resistivity. Fine. And it must be easily approachable by different modes of transport, so that electrodes can be brought out and they can be installed easily, removed. Okay. So keeping those points in mind, the first diagram is the elevation. Let us take a look at the elevation part. Okay, the elevation shows that there is an insulated cable. There is an insulated cable that is coming all the way from the earth terminal of a converter substation, and it has to be connected to the ground in order to form the basis of flow of current to the ground in case of emergency for a bipolar link. Okay, so the insulated cable, so this electrode side will be nearly, let us say, 5 to 10 kilometers away from it. So the insulated cable, this is a earth electrode line. This will be bringing the power all the way up to the electrode site, and then through suitable pipe structure it will be connected, right? So cable will be carrying the current all the way inside so that it can be connected to different earth electrode elements, right? So focus your attention uh, down under the earth surface, right? These elements are visible, isn't it? One, two, like this. These elements are visible. What are these? These are actually the graphite electrodes. These are graphite electrodes. They are not only they don't represent a single straight electrode. Rather, there are several straight electrodes connected to the same conductor in order to provide better connectivity with respect to the earth crust, and in order to be able to carry a large amount of current uh, and provide an alternate path in case of fault or failure. Okay, so kindly focus your attention. So various electrode elements, they together form straight electrodes array, and they are connected to the ground conductor. Okay, so if the current enters from here and reaches the electrode for current to be carried, then this is a sort of an anode terminal, right? Apart from the electrode, you can observe that this enclosure, isn't it? There is some enclosure visible here, right? This one. This is a pit. Okay, this is a pit. This pit, it has got certain dimensions, right? This pit has got certain dimensions which can be made out from the right hand side diagram. Fine. So generally the pit, it is having a depth of, let us say, lying in the range of 1 to 3 meters. Okay, this is the depth from the ground surface, and similarly it has got a width of 0.5 to 1 meters. 0.5 to 1 meters, isn't it? But the length of such a pit can be very large, as we have discussed earlier, that a large or adequate area of land is required, because these are not single electrode. You can see individual graphite electrode, the length is indicated at 2 to 10 meters. So even if there are 3, right, which are placed at certain distance, okay, so what will happen is that you may consider if it is a 10 meter, then this naturally will be 30 meters. 30 meters in 100 feet, isn't it? It may be a straight all the arrays arranged in series, one after the other, so it will require 100 feet worth of space, and that too, it is dug nearly up to 3 meters below the earth surface and having 0.5 to 1 meter width. Okay, even the dimensions of these electrodes is large, isn't it? Because they have to carry a very large DC current lying in the range of 1000-1500 ampere, isn't it? So that is what you can see, realize the dimensions, the depth, right? Then the width of the pit in which these electrodes are arranged, okay? And the length of the individual electrode and the whole arrangement can be quite big, isn't it? And at the same time, there is something more to be represented on the diagram, and that is called as a coke filling, isn't it? So coke filling, these graphite electrodes do not come directly in contact with the soil, right? In order to have a better contact, right? In order to have better contact and easy maintenance, the graphite is compacted with a coke, crushed coke, isn't it? Crushed coke, it is placed inside surrounding the graphite electrode. And apart from the crushed coke, then later on, this you can see this particular surface, right? The surface just above the pit. So pit is compacted, and then this particular area here, okay, this is the soil is again replaced, filled back. The pit is completely compacted by coke, and then the original soil is replaced. So because the properties of the soil, resistivity and all, it is selected based on the choice of electrode site. So naturally, when we replace it, we don't replace it by some concrete or something like that. Original soil is replaced. so that the properties of the original soil is retained and it provides good conductivity, isn't it? So this is the basic constructional detail, and not only the coke filling and soil is there, they are compacted as well. Compacted means they are thoroughly pressed uh, with suitable arrangement in order to ensure that there is no loose contact between the electrode and the nearby coke, crushed coke, and then no loose contact between the crushed coke column with respect to the surrounding soil. So everything is properly compacted, so there is no air trapped or no voids inside, in order to have better connectivity. So this is the right hand side diagram. This is basically the end view of the electrodes. Okay, end view. This is the elevation. Left hand side is the elevation, right? So of course these are the constructional details. We have to understand that straight electrode, it uses graphite element. Okay, in the earlier days, in some of the cases, the very primitive stages of HVDC, even metal electrodes were used, like iron. But it was observed that iron is responsible for too much consumption of iron electrode material. Even 100 ampere current flowing through the iron for a period of over 1 year, so nearly 1500 to 2000 kilograms of iron was getting consumed. So consumed means that the electrode material, when it carries DC current from one end to the another, it is observed that due to the electrolytic action, the iron, right, it gets decomposed and electrode material is consumed. So it requires frequent replacement of the fresh array of electrode elements to be replaced after maybe 6 months or 1 year time, depending upon the size and dimensions of these electrodes. But then later on, like as with the development, it was realized that actually graphite has a much better electrolytic properties, and it is capable of it opposes corrosion and consumption of electrode material with a flow of DC current. So graphite is very commonly used in the batteries. Okay, and here also, instead of iron, when we use graphite electrode for construction of earth electrode, it is realized that nearly the savings in the material is of the order of higher than 90, 98, 99%. Okay, only 1.5% of material is consumed for the same amount of current over a period of 1 year carried by the graphite electrode. Okay, so these are the constructional details. Let us check with the other geometries or the other types of electrodes by their basic diagrams, right? Kindly focus your this diagram attention. Okay, focus your attention here. Second type of electrode is a ring electrode. You can see that electrode elements, they will be in the form of ring, and the feeder supplies current to the central point, and then the current will be distributed through several sub feeders within the circuit in order to have effective connectivity with respect to the earth crust. So ring electrode and the insulated cables, right? Various sections of the rings, they will be carrying the DC current all the way from the circuit to the ground, or maybe collecting from ground to the circuit. Second, this diagram on this particular slide is this a branch star electrode. Branch star electrode, again we can see this is a feeder, and then feeder has got several sub feeders. Okay, so it is in the form of insulated cables. And graphite electrodes, here they are very much like the straight electrodes, right, but distributed in the form of a branch star, right? They are not laid down in series one after the other, rather they are arranged in the form of branch star. Naturally, there are more number of electrode elements or arrays connected within a smaller area. Okay, this saves the space, and so also it provides higher current densities to be carried. The last type of electrode construction is a radial star. Okay, this is almost like a branch star. Fine. but maybe for a lower current density, a simple radial star type of construction is used. And in each of these cases, you can see that inherently it is with some coke filling, and the electrodes are the graphite electrodes, right? And they are all fed from the insulated cable. So all these things are very much common. And of course, the depth and other dimensions we have seen in the previous slide, the same is applicable to all these different types of electrode constructions, right? So let us now move ahead and check with the basic description of this electrode construction. Okay. So quickly we'll go through this. First and foremost, complete electrode structure is made up of several separate units, right? Several separate units. They are of identical length, lying in the range of 2 to 10 meters, right? And these are distributed over large area, right? Electrode units, they will be, because their size is large, so they will be distributed over large area, and the area may be lying in the range of several hundred square meters. Current in each of the electrodes can be measured separately. They can be inspected, maintained, and replaced. Individual electrode, okay, so we can measure the current, okay. Then further, uh, the depth of the placement of electrode is 1 to 3 meters under the earth surface, and the graphite electrode elements are placed in the coke pit, right? Coke pit, it provides low resistivity. That of course is there, the resistivity which is low. Okay. Typical arrangement of earth electrode. Already we have seen from the diagram. We are just taking a revision here in the form of points in order to just have a better understanding and having the revision here. Okay. Let us now move ahead further. The backfilling is done using the original soil. This is very, very important. The backfilling is done using the original soil because soil property matters. And coke filling as well as backfilling both are compacted. Compacted means they are pressed properly through some sort of a maybe a roller or something like that in order to have a better uh, contact between the electrode and the earth surface, okay, or the earth crust, right? Advantage of graphite electrode over iron, that I have been telling, that iron carrying a current of 100 ampere, and naturally it will lead to consumption of very large amount of iron over a period of 1 year. But with the use of graphite, this will be reduced to 1.5% per annum. So this is what the idea about the simple earth electrodes that are used in the HVDC scheme, and they provide reliability feature in case of fault on one of the uh, one of the poles of HVDC scheme, and provide path through the earth. Let us continue with our discussion on C electrode and shore electrode. These type of electrodes are mainly used wherever the DC current is to be carried across two or more places which are separated by sea, isn't it? And we cannot make current to flow through the ground as such. Okay. So when two places are separated by the sea, naturally the electrodes will be installed at the seashore, right? And current will be flowing, of course, through the ground or maybe through the sea. Okay. And naturally there are certain technical constraints to it that we are going to realize it as we study through this, right? So for submarine cable HVDC transmission, okay, the earth electrodes are in the form of sea electrode or shore electrode. Submarine, right? Whenever the two or more islands or two or more places separated by the sea, So generally the C electrode is buried on the seashore, right? Usually installed a couple of kilometers away from the shore. Couple of kilometers is buried a couple of kilometers away from the shore, right? Let us check with the constructional details of the C electrode. Kindly focus your attention, right, on this diagram in the slide. It indicates several different elements. First and foremost is the insulated cable. So that is very common that from the DC circuit, the current to be carried through the C electrode will be brought all the way to the terminals where it will come in contact with this C element, right? So this insulated cable is coming all the way, and then there is some arrangement to distribute this current into two different paths here. Okay, so on the left hand side there is one electrode element, and on the other side again there is another electrode element. So two electrode elements are there. So that you can understand from here that these two are the graphite electrode elements. Again, graphite is used for the C electrodes as well. So insulated cable bringing the current all the way to the graphite electrode elements, and these graphite electrode elements these are installed inside a protective PVC casing, okay, with slits. So PVC casing with slits, this is required in order to provide safety to the electrode, stability and safety under the sea or under the shore, near the shore, because sea is a kind of place where you have marine life which may come in contact with the electrode directly, or even there may be human beings venturing near the seashore, right? Maybe going for a fishing or other activities. In that case, the electrode they must not come in contact with the electrode. Consequently, a protective casing is required in order to provide safety. Okay, not only this will provide safety from the safety to the marine life and human beings, so also it will be providing safety to the electrode structure itself from maybe the sea storms or maybe ice formation, isn't it, or some turbulent sea activity, right? So from that we require the protective PVC casing, but rest of the details are more or less the same. The current will be coming all the way to the electrode, and then contact of electrode with the sea water, right, and then the current will be flowing through that. Okay, now what are the advantages of C electrode with respect to the land electrode that are listed here down at the bottom? Okay, so kindly focus your attention. The very first point, the resistance offered by the C electrode is very small as compared to the land electrodes. So land electrode with graphite, it offers resistivity in the range of 0.3 ohm meter, and here it is in the range of 0.01, 0.12. So this is very small, nearly low, very low resistance, as less as 10% compared to the land electrode. Secondly, the electric field strength near the electrode is less. The electric field strength is less here because the medium is a sea water. It is observed that the electric field strength near the electrode surface is very less. Okay. Similarly, as the soil near the seashore, it has a low resistivity, and soil remains cool, moist during the flow of earth current. There are some disadvantages associated with the C electrode. Okay, so these are listed over here. First and foremost, sea water is more corrosive for the anode. Sea water, it is salty water naturally. So it is observed that in presence of salts, the corrosive action is more prominent, especially for the anode. right? Secondly, we have seen from the construction details that the electrode require protective covering, so that adds to the cost. And mainly, we want to see that fish and other human beings, they do not come in contact with the electrode. The voltage gradient of 2.5 volts per meter in the water produces discomfort to the fish and swimmers. So this voltage gradient has to be observed while we are about to carry the current through the sea electrode. So this voltage gradient matters. Electric field, but already as we mentioned that the field gradient is less within the sea water. Okay, and consequently this can be achieved through proper analysis and proper design. The third point of disadvantage is that the electrode requires protection from the mechanical damages, okay, which may be caused due to sea storms, floating object, ice formation in the winter, right? And lastly, the leakage current is responsible uh, for electrolytic corrosion of underwater metallic structures such as pipelines and cables. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages associated with the sea electrodes, right? So we'll stop here.